Hello everybody, this is your host Colin McIsaac with Nintendo Week. This week on the show, we talked about our ideas for Mario Kart 8 DLC, things they could do with the future of Mario Kart. It's really great stuff, but it was about a 40-minute discussion, so what we're going to do here for YouTube is split it up into two chunks of 20 minutes each. The video you're watching right now is part 2. In part 1, we discuss what characters we'd like to see and what crossovers we'd like to see, so that's both characters and tracks from other games like they did with Zelda and Animal Crossing. In part 2, we talk about what brand new track ideas we'd like to see for Mario Kart, more traditional stuff, as well as what retro tracks we'd like to see come back from older games. And then we talk about new ideas for new features and stuff, like how they had 200cc mode in the last update. You don't have to watch one video to appreciate the other, so if you just want to watch this one or you just want to watch the other, that's fine. If you want to watch both, that's even better, because we do have really awesome, fun ideas all around, so enjoy! Hello everybody, we are back with more Nintendo Week. I'm your host Colin McIsaac, and as always I'm joined by Alex Plant.
It's a me.
And Ben Lemereau.
It's a him.
So do we want to move on to tracks? New tracks and old tracks?
So, I've always been very disappointed by the lack of true Super Mario Galaxy representation in the recent Mario Karts. So while I know a lot of that's kind of overlaps with Rainbow Road, in the sense that Rainbow Road is set in space.
It's got the launch stars and star bits everywhere and stuff.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff in Mario Galaxy that has the space theme, but also has a kind of different flavor that you can't capture quite in the same way with Rainbow Road. And one of the things that I'd like to see is a focus on a lot of the sort of more mechanical settings from Super Mario Galaxy. Specifically, the thing that spawned this idea for me was Boy Base Galaxy.
That would be so
And you could have it kind of flow in and out of like a Boy Base type environment with the Dreadnought Galaxy, the Space Junk Galaxy, have a section where you're driving through the Comet Observatory. So it's not, in Mario Kart 8, the Rainbow Road was like this one space station, and with Rainbow Road kind of flowing through it. But in this case, it'd be a bunch of different galaxy-type environments kind of meshing together.
Right. I love that idea. I was trying to think how they could do a good Mario Galaxy track earlier, and I couldn't think of anything, but that is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of used to Rainbow Road being like the climactic endgame track, and this would be a cool alternative to that for a DLC type of thing. Right.
Well, especially considering the Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road was so boring.
Yeah, it's got like one or two sort of interesting things, but on the whole,
That's not
the
a lot.
Yeah, and not for a Rainbow Road, certainly.
Yeah. All right, Ben, track pitch?
Yeah, I don't really know what kind of Mario track I would want to add into it. I've got like some classic ones I'd love to see return, but for new ones,
throw out some retro tracks or
whatever. Most of my retro track wants are just super nostalgia fueled because I played a lot of Mario Kart 64 growing up, and for some reason I always really liked Calamari Desert, and I enjoyed playing that on the 3DS version. So I'd like to see that on Wii U.
Well, I guess my first new track pitch will be Dr. Mario.
Nice.
Something that goes kind of through like the pill bottle and has like viruses around, and it's sort of like a dark environment, but also something maybe even that goes through like Dr. Mario's laboratory, which we've never seen, so they could make something up completely on their own but still have this like theme of Dr. Mario, which I think would be super cool. A lot of my new track pitches are based on like bringing other Mario things into Mario Kart.
And it'd be fun based on, the alternate coin items we saw in the some of the other crossover tracks. It'd be fun to see Dr. Mario takes on some of the items like shells.
Oh, yeah!
Where they're maybe they're pills or, I don't know. There's lots of...
that would be really cool.
Lots of images you could play around with that. Like an exploding virus instead of a bomb. Like, I don't know.
I like that. Or like a virus buster thing from Miracle Cure.
Yeah.
Those could be some of the items. That would be really cool.
Yeah, and it'd all be aesthetic. Like, the gameplay would be the same, but...
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to bring in this alternate flavor of Mario, you might as well go all the way. Mm-hmm. My number 2 suggestion is Flower Fields from Paper Mario.
Yes!
It'd be probably be freaking gorgeous. We've seen a lot of field-like tracks, but they've all kind of been the sort of boring Super Mario Bros. Aesthetic, or Super Mario World aesthetic. And this would be something like completely different not only in color scheme, but in set pieces and tone and music.
Oh, you have no idea how happy you just made me with that thought. I was thinking something else, I actually put down on my just something from Paper Mario.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and I couldn't think of a track, but actually Flower Fields is great, and Alex, you made me think of another one as well. well, I don't know what the name of the area is called, but like the haunted forest area in between.
With Lady Bo.
Yeah,
where you're going up there.
Like right before you get to her mansion.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, I think another like haunted course that isn't just like a ghost house or Luigi's mansion would be kind of cool. And that's another one where you could do sort of like a Lost Woodsy type things where it's different branching paths and everything kind of like leads you around.
Well, I actually had a couple ideas for Paper Mario. I was thinking, at first I thought like Shy Guy's Toy Box would be really cool. But then I realized we do kind of like similar things with like Ribbon Road, and they've done that in the past. It would still be neat having like all the cardboard, but then I was thinking Glitzville from Paper Mario 2 would be really cool, going through this whole glitzy, like, it's not showbiz, but like
it's sort of like a Vegas town in a way.
Yeah, kind of like that. That's the best way I can think of to describe it.
But it's a Vegas town in the sky.
Right.
Yeah.
And going through all that, like going through all these areas, like the hot dog stands and these crowd areas, and then like breaking into the building and driving through the audience and like getting on stage and like maybe using that as like a ramp and jumping off that into the audience and like cruising on out. Glitzville would be so cool, because I feel like there are a lot of ways that they could use that setting to make a really exciting course, like to make the course itself really exciting, and then use the scenery of that setting to make what you drive through that much more fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
while we're still on the Paper Mario theme, you know, a lot of when I was thinking about track ideas, a lot of the ones where I was thinking of farming things from other Mario games, it was about how beautiful would this be as a track in HD. Mm-hmm. And another great Paper Mario locale would be Boggly Woods.
Yes! Oh!
So colorful, so alien looking.
And going through the great tree with all the punies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is a really good idea. There's so many great Paper Mario locales that would make great tracks.
Yeah.
And that's how I thought of a lot of my new track pitches too. Was, you know, what is a great Mario universe location that needs some love and would just look beautiful in HD?
Yeah.
I was also thinking the Bean Bean Kingdom from Superstar Saga, Mario and Luigi. I don't know, you know, there's a lot of potential for where they could go. I think Chucklehuck Woods would look really cool. But sort of taking a tour around like 2 or 3 different areas in the Bean Bean Kingdom, and I think that could be really cool.
Yeah. Kind of makes me sad that Nintendo doesn't have the full rights to Mario RPG, because that had some interesting ideas.
I know. I was thinking of some stuff there, and then I realized, oh man.
Yeah, like Smithy's Fortress would be cool.
Or like Geno playable.
Yeah, right. No hope there, sadly.
No. Two other course ideas that I had, and this I guess kind of goes with the crossovers, but the characters didn't really work, so I think of them more just as like tracks, like they did with F-Zero. But Wave Race, great racing series from Nintendo that has no future, but they could still, you know, acknowledge and support it through Mario Kart. There could be like a really cool stage where you're racing in anti-gravity, but instead of racing on an anti-gravity track underwater, you know, what you're racing on is actually the water.
Right.
And that's how they'd get around, like, having to have jet skis and stuff.
Right.
So that would be really cool. Plus, the Wave Race main theme is awesome. And then another racing game Nintendo made that nobody really knows about. I don't know if you two know about Stunt Race FX.
I do not.
I've heard of it.
I haven't played a lot of it. It's probably not as good a game as the idea itself is. But it's kind of like these wacky cartoon cars. They're like monster trucks almost. But they look sort of like 1930s cartoons with cars that have smiley faces on them and stuff. It's really cool and really fun and really colorful. The music is also really great, so that's a big motivator for me. But I think that would be great to put in Mario Kart, because another great way to represent old racing games from Nintendo that aren't really gonna ever get any true successors. I think a sort of cartoony, happy monster truck would be a lot of fun to put in as a car for Mario Kart. So I think there's a lot of potential there for Stunt Race FX. And the one listener who knows what that is right now saying, "Oh my God, Colin!" You're welcome, one listener.
Yeah, I had 2 other ideas as well. One of them would be a track based on the Carnival World from Super Mario 3D World.
Oh!
That was one of the more interesting new things that was going on in that game, especially when you consider that strange boss that you fight.
The
giant blob one
thing with the hats.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd make kind of a cool obstacle, I think. But I liked that was something new that they added to the Mario universe.
Yeah.
And maybe part carnival, part that weird Bowser City thing from the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
All the crazy Bowser show business type stuff those were my favorite things in Mario 3D World. But also, and this is an idea I'm even more excited about, Nintendo Land.
Oh wow.
And they could take this in one of two directions. They could make a Nintendo Land course where you kind of go through different environments, or they could go all out and do a Nintendo Land Cup, where they go, where they have the best attractions that they think would make the best tracks, and turn them into tracks.
I like both of those ideas.
It'd be fun to see. Even the Mario Chase one, the way it's stylized is so different.
That's set up like a battle mode track.
Yeah, the way it's stylized is so different. You could do a lot of things with even just the Mario Chase. But there's Metroid Blast, there's Battle Quest, there's
the
Pikmin
F-Zero,
one,
there's the Ninja Castle.
Right, Ninja Castle, Takamaru, I think would be one of the more interesting ones too. But there's so much content there that they can mine. Plus, Monita could be a character that goes with this Nintendo Land track. I purposely kept her under wraps until we talked about this.
Oh my god. You know what I just realized?
What?
In all of Mario Kart, there's not a single track based on the arcade Donkey Kong.
You're right.
How has that not happened yet?
It's kind of insane.
That's throw that into our DLC ideas.
I'm trying to imagine how that would work, but...
Yeah, I don't really know either, but I'm still surprised that hasn't happened. I realized it because of Nintendo Land, because of the Donkey Kong attraction.
So this is kind of a tangent off of that tangent, but Little Mac in Punch-Out.
As a Mario Kart character?
As a Mario Kart. And for the stage, you see Doc riding on his bike.
I just had a really good idea, though. If they do Glitzville, which they won't, but they should, they could do Glitzville, and they could have like Punch-Out characters cameoing in the audience.
Yeah,
and
or
like,
even
as
just
you burst
on the field.
Well, I don't know if that would work because it's really more of a wrestling pit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it's more of like, if you do that, I feel like you'd be breaking up a fight, which actually would be really cool.
It would be really cool.
But I was thinking like having like Punch-Out characters in the audience, like watching the fight, and then when because I had that idea, like you drive onto the stage and then drive off into the audience and make people like run away. Mm-hmm. And some of those people could be like Punch-Out characters. That would actually be really cool.
Yeah.
Have Doc Lewis like hanging out on the side of the pit eating chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh man. Every time we have a discussion like this, I really want all this stuff to happen.
And while we're going in the sporting direction, I got more ideas, and that's ones based on Mario sports games.
How would that work, though?
Mario Golf with a golf course type setting.
But those are all based on like plains and deserts and stuff, like the rest of Mario Kart is.
I guess. Or a mini golf course.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, what about retro tracks? What are you guys thinking?
So I'm all about that N64 era. And I want Choco Mountain and Bowser's Castle.
Yeah.
On Wii U.
Choco Mountain, I like that choice, because we haven't seen it since Mario Kart DS. Bowser's Castle was on Wii again, and I love that course, but Choco Mountain speaks to me.
I also miss Banshee Boardwalk.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Too long.
So I didn't play a ton of Double Dash, unfortunately, because I didn't have a GameCube growing up, but I do love the DK Mountain stage. I think that'd be great to have in HD. And with, some tracks on the walls and stuff.
I was thinking Wario Coliseum in HD.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Wario Coliseum.
Yeah, because I feel like that'd be great in HD. Anti-gravity stuff going on. So much fun. I'm surprised it hasn't come back yet. Now I think is such a great time.
It's such a wild level, and it fits perfectly with the anti-gravity, like you said.
Yeah, and then in a similar vein, Waluigi Pinball. Because, I know it just came back on the 3DS, but I feel like Waluigi Pinball is like the perfect Mario.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites, definitely, on the 3DS.
Not only because of the amazing curves, but also because Waluigi's face is plastered everywhere. So Sorry, what were you saying, Ben?
Oh, I was just agreeing with you that Waluigi Pinball is outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if there's any way we would be able to get Mario Kart Arcade GP tracks in Mario Kart 8.
I wonder. I wouldn't be interested in that because I've never played them, and I feel like a lot of people haven't.
Well, I mean, for example, that game has Pac-Man crossover characters, so...
Well, yeah.
And Pac-Man stages.
Yeah.
And that'd just be an interesting way to kind of bring those in.
I was also thinking maybe, like, one of the Woohoo tracks from Mario Kart 7 would look good in HD. I really liked those ideas, so that'd be neat.
Yeah.
And then my one favorite Mario Kart track of all time that I've got to have back, I need it back, is Sky Garden from Mario Kart Super Circuit. Just such a good course. Yeah. And it would, we've seen how Cloud Top Cruise looks, and that's gorgeous. Sky Garden would be equally as wonderful. Also, Sunset Wilds. Nobody's going to remember that course because
it's on Super Circuit.
Well, yes. It's also, like, there's nothing particularly memorable about it. I just really, really like it. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably partially because it has really good music. But other than that, it's not that great a course, admittedly. I just really like it, so I'd love to see it back.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any more ideas for retro tracks, or should we move on to the out-of-the-box ideas?
I'm ready to get out of the box.
Out of the box. You guys don't know that?
So here's a super crazy outside-the-box idea Nintendo could try. Put a real battle mode in.
Yes, thank you.
Is that really? You're out of the... We've said this so many times.
Ben and I just love battle mode. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have another idea too. I just couldn't pass up the chance to be snarky and whiny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is something they need to add.
So Ben, here's my question for you: block fort or double deck?
Double deck.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning more toward that as well. Like, block fort's great. I mean, I'd love to have both.
I need Big Donut. But... It's all about Big Donut.
I really liked Luigi's Mansion in Double Dash.
Yeah, I love Luigi's Mansion also. I'd love to see that one make a comeback. I was very sad it never made a comeback in any of the future ones. Right?
For a little bit more of an outside-the-box idea, the producer of the last few Mario Karts is also heading up Nintendo's mobile division. So I'd like to see some sort of connectivity between a mobile game and Mario Kart, whether that's just using various mobile games to maybe like unlock costumes in Mario Kart or vice versa, or actually a legitimate Mario Kart app, which I think is extremely possible since they're targeting 5 different genres over the course of the next year and a half or so. So I think there could be some interesting opportunities to introduce the mobile market to Mario Kart via some kind of Mario Kart app.
Yeah, well, Mario Kart is such a great casual game, and I think a really vanilla version of Mario Kart would work great on mobile devices, especially so as then to say, once they've played through 4 courses on mobile, then to say, hey, if you like these, if you like doing this, you might like playing it at home, when there's a lot more to do, and you can play as more than just Mario and Luigi.
But mostly the battle mode thing.
Yeah, I want to go back to that battle mode thing. Yeah, so not only the return of classic battle mode, but more battle mode options in addition to the classic ones. So we had, I think the only real popular additional battle mode that people really latched onto was the Bob-omb one, but I'd love to see even more spins on the formula where they play very much like classic battle mode, but they have kind of different rule sets. I don't know what that would mean, but I love the franticness of the Bob-omb mode, and I'm sure they could come up with more ideas besides this weird hybrid racetrack battle mode thing that's in Mario Kart 8 already.
Cool. Well, my out-of-the-box idea is a little bit closer to being in the box, but I really liked in Mario Kart 64 how Rainbow Road was this really insanely long track. It really felt like a big epic finale, sort of a marathon to finish off the Special Cup. And Special Cup was to finish off all the other cups. It was the finale of the game, really. And I really liked that idea. And what I think they should do is make Rainbow Cup it's a marathon cup of all 8 Rainbow Road courses, all remade in HD, of course, and even repackaging Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 8 in there as well. Marathoning the Rainbow Road courses all in this one long loop, so as to say, like, look, here's this epic Mario Kart finale. It's a really long cup. It's high stakes because if you're trying to get 3 stars, you've got 8 races to go through. But I love Rainbow Road, and I've got to have me all these Rainbow Roads in one thing, and I would really love to see that happen as sort of, if not for DLC in this game, I would love to see them introduce that in like the next one, because I also think they need to freshen it up a little bit, how it always ends with Special Cup and Rainbow Road is the fourth one, and I think they do need a little bit of a shake-up there. So I think Rainbow Cup would be a cool way to bring back people's favorite Rainbow Road memories from, no matter what game they played, and then still finish it off in this really satisfying way.
And while we're talking about Rainbow Road, I'd like to see, for the tracks where they are a closed circuit, where they're not the, segment tracks, I'd love to see the option brought back to set the number of laps. Because I love Rainbow Road 64, and I love the reincarnation of it in Mario Kart 8 so much that I want it to be more than just one traditional lap.
Yeah.
And that's just not an option for me. And plus, some of the other courses, I'd be fine with them being 2 laps, or maybe I'd be fine with them being 4 laps. Like, give us the option. There's no reason not to. You've done it in past Mario Kart games.
Right. Yeah, I like that. All right, well, I think that just about wraps it up.
Yeah, you milked me dry on this one. I had lots of ideas.
I still have a bunch that I didn't read off because I have way too many.
Colin's a dreamer.
Most of them have to do with rainbows.
So everybody,
and
thank
Mother
you
3.
so much for listening. Not Mother 3.
Are you sure? You dream about Mother 3 every night, don't you?
Only 5 days a week.
Okay.
Colin has mother issues.
So everybody, thank you so much for listening. This is the end of the second part of this Mario Kart DLC discussion, but if you want to see the first one, you can check it out on our YouTube channel, and we'll put a card in, the annotations and the description and stuff, so you can find that easily. If you like this podcast, please subscribe to us on iTunes, or subscribe to us on YouTube at Gamnesia TV for bite-sized discussions from this show. And please head to iTunes to leave us a review. It really helps with visibility, so we greatly appreciate it, especially if you have good things to say instead of bad ones. If you have feedback for Nintendo Week, please send it to colin@gamnesia.com. That's COLIN at gamnesia.com. GAMNESIA.com. And remember to send in your questions about Nintendo, about our show. We love engaging with you guys, and we read them and talk about them here on the show, so it's a great way to get involved. Again, that's colin@gamnesia.com. If you can't wait till next week for more of our stuff, you can head to Gamnesia to see more of our gaming news as it happens. We've got Sony, Microsoft, Indie, you name it, and even Nintendo news that we didn't have the time to discuss on this week's show. So thank you everybody so much for listening, and we hope you have another great week.